friends, and welcome back to our homestead. It's springtime, and that means it's goat deworming time because my does recently had babies, and it's important that I keep an eye on their anemia, make sure that there's not too much worms going on. Now, I do have to say that all animals, goats, sheep, cattle, whatever, they all have parasites. It's a normal part of pasture, ruminant kind of animals. The trick is to keep that parasite amount low, because once it becomes high, that's when we have problems with anemia and malnutrition and other diseases. So I keep an eye on my goats. One of the ways is I take a look at their skin and make sure that they don't have any lesions, make sure their hair is in good condition, they're not losing too much hair. And also I'm going to look at the color of a matcha score under the eyelid. Now, sheep are much brighter color, where goats are slightly more pinker rather than red. But still, it goes from red to white. You don't want to be white. If you ever see white, that's pretty much an emergency situation. You got to take care of it. You also have to keep an eye on their stool, because goats should be going, their stool should be pebbles, should be freely falling, should not be clumpy. Definitely not clumpy or diarrhea. Keep an eye on that as well. So certain conditions that increase stress in a goat, such as kidding or lambing, is a time of stress for mamas, and that's when parasites can take over and cause trouble. As a homesteader and goat keeper, I like to have references and books that teach me how to take care of them naturally. Of course, you can go ahead and purchase medications for deworming, but then you can't slaughter the animals. Or if you want to just raise them naturally, I prefer to use natural things. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I like to have printed materials on hand, such as like this book. Now, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just using this as an example. So this is a natural parasite control for livestock. And it talks about cattle and sheep and chickens, you name it. So parasites are very common. So it's important that we manage that to keep it low, to keep our animals safe. There are certain herbs that can be helpful in managing parasites. And by managing, I mean either not allowing the eggs to hatch, or that keeps just the parasite amount low. Okay, so for example, garlic. You can use fresh garlic or garlic powder. I buy garlic in bulk, then I have plenty for cooking, and garlic to manage parasites. So garlic does not kill parasites in animals, despite what you may have heard. Garlic helps to not allow parasite eggs from hatching. Okay, so that's why garlic is often used in conjunction with other medications or herbs to manage parasites. Okay, so garlic powder I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be using juniper berries. Juniper berries is one of those home remedies, and there's not enough what dose to use. It's not really mentioned in many places, but there are berries, and I will crush them up in either a food processor or a coffee grinder, so they're broken down. Okay, and that's what we're going to be using today in my concoction. Also, I'm going to be using fennel seed. There was a study that was done in Russia where animals were grazing on the fennel field, and they had no issues with parasites. So fennel seeds we're going to be using as well, and I'm going to be grinding them up a little bit together with juniper berries. And again, there's no real amount to be used, so I'm going to be eyeballing it. Oregano. Dried oregano. Oregano is often used as an antiparasitic, antibacterial, antifungal, so I'm going to be using that as well. I'm going to be throwing some sage. Okay, this is dried sage, my homegrown sage. Also, I'm going to be throwing sage because it's often used as a immune boosting, and it helps to fight during stressor time for the animal. Another very important thing is pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are amazing. okay, pumpkin seeds. They can be used to fight many different types of parasites, and they can be given whole, or they can be grounded up together with other ingredients and kind of like make that mass. Copper. Now, copper is not safe for all animals, but it's very safe for goats. So the recommended dose is about 4 grams for 125-pound goat. My goats are even a little bit bigger than 125, but 4 grams, 125-pound goat, and that can be used as well as a dewormer. Because some of these things, oh, one thing I forgot is echinacea. Echinacea also can be used in this concoction. Because these things don't taste very good, come on, face it, who wants to eat a bunch of garlic, right? I'm going to be using molasses to sweeten things up. And so yeah, let's make this deworming natural medication for my goats. In case you're interested, this is the book I'm talking about, Natural Parasite Control for Livestock, and it's by Wendy Lombardi. I am not sponsored, but I do like this book. It's very easy read, and I find it to be very useful information for any homesteader or animal keeper. I'm gonna mix everything up in this food blender cup that we use for shakes and stuff. So let's start by putting some juniper berries, and I'm going to be making for one goat right now, so I'm going to be using about a tablespoon of juniper berries, a tablespoon of fennel seed, okay, a tablespoon of dried oregano, they're not big fans of sage, so I'm going to be putting just a little bit of sage. For some reason, goats do not like sage very much, so I'm just probably, what, a teaspoon, maybe, of dried sage. All right, so that's going to go in here, and I'm going to be putting, for my goats, I'm going to be putting about a half a teaspoon of dried garlic, about a half a teaspoon of dried garlic. It's very strong. It's a beautiful garlic. I cook with it. Okay, so I'm gonna put that to the side. So this is gonna be all put into my blender just to mix everything up. Actually, you know what? Let me add the pumpkin seeds as well. I think I'm gonna pulverize them as well. So the recommended dose, which I find it funny, the recommended dose is 20 per goat. I'm gonna put a little more because my goats are big. I'm not even gonna measure. I'm not even gonna count them, I should say. Okay, so this is gonna be one treatment today. So let me pulverize everything. Okay, everything is nicely pulverized. I'm gonna put it in here. Let's make medicine. Okay, to this, I'm gonna be putting, let's see if I can open this. I'm gonna be putting 2 of these capsules because each capsule contains 2 grams. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. Alrighty. So let's make this whole thing nice and sweet. Alright, a little molasses. I'm gonna stir this and I'm gonna create like, almost like, I wanna say, I don't know, like treats. So they'll be sticky treats. I could add this right into their feed, and sometimes though they don't want to eat it because of the garlic, so I'm gonna try to add a little bit more, make this nice and sweet and attractive to them. Hi, Mama. Hi, beautiful Ruby. So this mama just had her babies 3 weeks ago, and I checked under her eyelids, and she's pretty pale. She doesn't like when I pull it down, but she's pretty pale, and that means it's time to deworm this woman. I do not deworm them prophylactically. I do deworm them only if needed, if I see any kind of signs of anemia. All right, so pasture control, moving them to different pastures, is one of the great ways to keep the parasites down. I will be deworming the babies when they are about 4 to 6 weeks old. Why? Because the babies are so inquisitive, and they're smelling things and they're tasting things they shouldn't be tasting. So because they are all not on their own business, I'm going to deworm them when they're about 4 to 6 weeks old as well, just to make sure that they're nice and healthy. But today we're deworming mamas. Yo, come here, honey. Come here, mama. Come here, sweet girl. I got num-nums for you. So let's see if she'll eat my... Yeah, baby. Enjoy, sweet girl. Enjoy, sweet girl. All your num-num medicine. Go ahead, sweetie. Good girl, honey. Oh, she likes it. It's because of the molasses. Who doesn't like molasses? Come on. Eat it up, mama. Eat it up. No, not you, sweetie. I'll give you your own portion. Let me scoop all this here. Not you. Not you, honey. No, I know, Rubes. I'll make yours as well. No, that's my spoon. Lick the spoon. You don't know how to lick the spoon, honey? Good girl. Oh, no, don't bite the spoon, sweetie. Good job. Good job. Come here, Ruby. Come here, sweetheart. Good girl. Let's do some deworming. Let's do some natural deworming. Yummy. Yeah, molasses makes everything taste good, huh? We got some garlic, and we got some oregano and fennel and pumpkin seeds, and what else do we have here? Oh, we have juniper berries. Here's a little bit more, right on a spoon. Okay, don't eat the spoon. Don't eat the spoon. Don't eat the spoon. Good girl, Mama Ruby. Good girl. Good girl. Eat it up. Oh, you like the spoon? Okay. Do you want me to scoop it for you? Let me scoop it for you. Hold on. There's on the sides. You don't know how to lick the bowl? You're not a dog? Okay, good girl. Yeah, good girl. Yep. Buddy, say hello to everybody. Say hi, my name is Maverick. All right, friends, so the goats are dewormed, okay? And we're going to make sure now that at this point, I'm going to be observing them, keeping an eye on them, make sure that their FAMACHA score is improving. We're going to be rotating pastures, because the more pasture they're rotating, the least chances of them to have a high amount of parasites. And these boys are going to be also dewormed in a couple of weeks, because they're growing and becoming gorgeous. Yes, I love you so much. Your mama's friend. Your mama's friend. I'm sure the question is coming, why am I not using diatomaceous earth? Great question. I used to use diatomaceous earth until I learned something. Yes, it sounds good as a good idea, because it's going to work on soft-bodied parasites. But as soon as that diatomaceous earth is ingested by a goat, it becomes wet. Once it becomes wet, it's no longer active. So that is why I stopped using diatomaceous earth for my animals as a parasite treatment. On this note, friends, I hope you are encouraged to deworm your pets, your farm animals, your livestock naturally, and try something new.